Here it is, folks. This is what everyone's been waiting for old man Biden to overstep, just like the great prophet Donald Trump said! Not so fast. Right. So, Biden has announced that he's going to sign an executive order regarding vaccination mandates. Okay. That has about a 0% chance of surviving a court challenge, as anyone who was paying attention during Trump's presidency likely already knows. So, yeah, it's kind of a waste of time, unfortunately, or fortunately, as the case may be. There is an argument for Biden being morally correct, but legally incorrect. There's also arguments to be made that, can be convincingly made that Biden is both morally and legally incorrect. And I'm sure someone will find some argument to specify, yes, Biden is in fact both morally and legally correct to issue this executive order. The reality is, as soon as he puts ink to paper in order to sign that executive order, it will be challenged in court. Republican governors and attorneys general and politicians and private interest groups, people who are just generally opposed to anything not moderately conservative or conservative in any regard, will immediately oppose it. And they will find the right court, the right judge, in order to get the result they want, which is the blocking of the executive order. So, for anyone who is being outraged about Biden's order, you are honestly wasting your time and your breath. Someone else is going to take care of the outrage, the legal challenge for you. It's going to be fine. For all those who would like the executive order to actually be legal and to force all the remaining folks who are still hesitant about the COVID-19 vaccine in any capacity to be forced into either getting tested or required to get the jab at long last, don't waste your time. It's just not going to work. It's not going to happen the way we all either think it should or believe it should, or even the way we all need it to happen. Take it from me, I am an over-the-road truck driver. I am currently in a truck stop in southern Kentucky for my required 10-hour overnight break before I continue on into Tennessee to make my deliveries before I loop back towards home base near Chicago. And in my travels, the opinions that I've seen expressed run the gamut. The practices regarding, social distancing and masking and vaccinations run the gamut. Because the general impression I'm getting is that people in a lot of states, not just some of the big blue or big red states, people are just sick of everything to do with COVID, and they'd like to get their lives back. A lot of them have already gotten the vaccine. Some have legitimate concerns about the vaccine interfering or reacting poorly with their systems because maybe they had an illness previously, and they are deeply, honestly concerned that the vaccine could cause problems for them. And if you are one of those people, obviously the only recourse there is to either wait for additional scientific studies to come out and medical studies to come out that will give you more information regarding what the vaccine could potentially do to your systems, your body, post whatever illness or disease or issue you had or are currently battling. For anyone who's really just not, really sure that honestly the vaccines are safe, I'll share my vaccine story, and if anyone really cares to listen. I was someone who was very hesitant to get one of the COVID-19 vaccinations, both as a truck driver, because potentially big negative reaction could have put me out of work while I recovered. And also there's the possibility that if I went with one of the two-shot options, whether it was the Pfizer or the Moderna vaccines, that I might have a mechanical issue with my truck and I'd be stuck somewhere and miss my second shot appointment. And honestly, I couldn't find any information that I was, honestly convinced, okay, if you missed the shot, the appointment for the second jab to complete the vaccination process, you're still fine. You don't have to go get a brand new set of two or whatever. So I waited until the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was available in my area, and I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And honestly, for anyone who is concerned about the structure of the vaccine produced by Pfizer or Moderna, based on my experience, I personally would recommend that you pursue the opportunity, if it's available in your area, to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I would also recommend that you look up whatever information about the vaccine you feel is pertinent to you, especially regarding immunity factors related to the Delta variant and the new variant of interest, the Mu variant, because this isn't going away anytime soon, as, pardon my nose itching, we should all finally be aware. So yeah, I got the Johnson & Johnson jab, the one-shot, one-stop shot, because I felt, for me personally, being a semi-truck owner-operator and also someone who is nowhere near as in contact with people on a daily basis as other folks might be, that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was personally my best option. And so far that has proven to be correct. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine, now in fairness, I did have a very, very minor reaction to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I got it in June, mid-June, and I did it over a weekend where I was going to be home for a couple of days. So if I was going to have a reaction to it that was so adverse that I needed additional time off, I'm already at home, ready to go, either to seek medical attention if necessary, or at least just, hunker down and ride it out, whatever needed to happen. The reaction I had to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, I got it Saturday morning, or maybe it was around Saturday around noon in mid-late June. Yeah, that sounds about right. And that evening I felt, a little symptoms of flu, kind of achy, icky, not quite pukey, but still not quite 100%. And then the following morning, that Sunday, I pretty much was just dragging all day, fatigued, but didn't have anything more intense than that. And by the time Monday morning rolled around, I was 100%. Everything was fine, all good to go. No additional symptoms, no actual COVID symptoms. So I was fine. And I went back to work and everything was good, and it's been good ever since. So I do have my CDC card with me in my truck in case any of the states that are saying, papers, please, give us your papers, prove to us you're a vaccinated comrade before we will let you proceed into our state to do your job. If I go anywhere like that, I'm covered, can prove it. Yes, I have a CDC card, I am vaccinated, everything is fine. So yes, I do recommend the Johnson & Johnson vaccine if you are concerned about the mRNA structure at the base of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. If I remember correctly, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is based on a more old school formula using, I think, the structure of either a flu vaccine or a cold shot. I don't know. I really don't know the science behind it. I do not claim to be a scientist of any sort. I do not claim to have any, special knowledge about the vaccines. I'm just sharing my opinions about the vaccine mandate that Biden is going to attempt to sign into authority, and also my recommendation regarding a vaccine. I like the idea of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The one shot, one and done, to me appealed just because of what I do for work. In some cases, depending on the month, the week, the day, whatever it is, I really cannot afford to be sick, and I also cannot afford to be spreading contagion as a host or whatever to potential customers. So obviously, because I do travel the Midwest and also the Eastern and eventually the Western states, being vaccinated for me is a crucial thing, because it does help keep me safe, my family safe, and also my customers safe, and the people they deal with, their customers, their employees, their vendors, whoever. It does help. And if you are a vaccine naysayer, honestly, I would, if you believe, the conspiracy hype or whatever, you got to check your facts. You got to do some actual research and find some sources of information that are not tainted by anything to do with the media. Find some actual science from actual scientists. Don't listen to Dr. Fauci, because he, as far as I'm concerned, he's a creature of the media and cannot be trusted. Same with pretty much, all of Congress and the federal government. Can't trust them at the moment, because they have, as far as I'm concerned, they have made the situation what it is by deciding to be political about the situation, as opposed to doing their actual jobs regarding the American people. And I believe that both the Trump and Biden administrations have categorically bungled the COVID situation to various degrees. Obviously, people will debate that from now until the heat death of the universe. Who did it better? Who made it worse? Who actually is the root of the problem? But at the end of the day, it's the reason, in my opinion, that we have so much distrust for the vaccines is because of the federal government, because they politicize the issue instead of putting politics aside. I believe that has just deepened the trenches around the battle lines and solidified camps, for and against the vaccines and the measures that we need to take to protect ourselves and our loved ones and family, friends, co-workers, customers in my case. So yeah, I do not have a very positive opinion of how the government has been handling the situation at the local, state, or federal level. I think we've all gotten it wrong across the board. That includes us as individual citizens. I think we have made the situation worse in some cases without any help from the federal government. We did it all by ourselves. And I think, honestly, there really is no one political party or faction or group who can truly be blamed for the situation as it is. I think there are so many factors in play that blaming any one politician, elected figure, appointed figure, media figurehead is honestly a waste of time, because this is, a different sort of animal. This is a virus. It is mutating. It is here allegedly to stay, depending on your view on things. They keep telling us to get a flu shot every year. Some people are saying that you could need a COVID shot every year, and it's just one of those things that for now it is what it is. However, I believe it is in everyone's best interests to get vaccinated. In my experience, it has proven to be effective, because I have not gotten COVID. I have not tested COVID positive. I'm sure I've been exposed to it in some capacity along the way, along the road. I can only assume that because I had a reaction to it when I got the vaccine, or I had a reaction to the vaccine when I got it, that I was exposed to it. But again, I don't know the science behind it. And some would say you can't trust the science behind it. But you know what, folks? It is what it is. At the end of the day, you have to make a decision based on what you believe is the most impartial and accurate information available. And in the other side of that coin is you have to go find that information, because you won't find it on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or any mainstream media source, because none of them can be trusted. So happy hunting for that information. Good luck to you. Get a vaccine, but make sure it's not going to kill you. Honestly, I do hope that everyone does get a vaccination, just so we can put this thing to bed at long last. But again, you got to make those choices based on what you believe is best for yourself, based on the best information you have available regarding your healthcare needs from an actual healthcare professional and not WebMD. So once again, good luck, God bless, and good night.